Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick, and this is the place to be for everything landscape photography. Today I'm talking about my top 5, top 5 cameras for landscape photography. Let's go! Alright guys, top 5 cameras for landscape photography. It's gonna be a good one. Before we get into the video though, man, 2020 can just be over already. If 2020 was a child, it would be Caillou. Do you remember that kid? Super annoying. Yeah. Anyways, before we jump into the video, if you guys could please go down there, hit that subscribe button. I know you want to. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that bell notification. It'll let you know when I upload my next video. Also follow me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. Links are in the description below. Alright, let's get into this. I've compiled a list of my top 5 cameras for landscape photography. I'm going to show you or tell you the beginner or my recommendations for what you guys should be starting off with, and then I'll give you an option for the pro level cameras once you guys are fully immersed and know how to use your camera. Then you can jump up to the pro level camera. Number 5 is the Lumix DMC G85. It is a 16 megapixel sensor, micro four thirds format, native ISO of 200 to 25,600. Fortunately, it is not weather sealed, so be careful, and I'll explain why coming up here pretty soon. It is an L mount, and then to power up this camera or to level up on this camera, you can definitely upgrade and switch over to the Lumix S1. It's a 24.2 megapixel sensor, full frame format, 100 to 51,200 ISO. It is weather sealed, and it is also part of the L mount family of lenses. Coming in at number 4 is the Sony A6100. It's a 24.2 megapixel sensor, APS-C format, 100 to 32,000 native ISO. It is weather sealed, and it does take the E-mount family of lenses from Sony. So the power up or level up on that one is the Sony A7 III. It comes with a 24.2 megapixel sensor. It is a full frame camera. Native ISO of 100 to 51,200. It is also weather sealed, and it also takes the E-mount family of lenses from Sony. Number 3, the Nikon D3500. It is a 24.2 megapixel sensor, APS-C format, native ISO of 64 to 25,600. Unfortunately, it is not weather sealed, and it takes the F-mount lens or lenses. So powering up or leveling up from the 3500 is going to the Nikon Z or Z6. Comes with a 24.5 megapixel sensor. It is a full frame camera. It is native ISO of 100 to 51,200. It is weather sealed, and it takes Z or Z mount lenses. You can also use F mount lenses with an adapter. So if you have a lot of F mount glass laying around, you can definitely still use it with their adapter for sure. Number 2 is the Canon EOS Rebel T7i. This one is a 24.2 megapixel sensor, APS-C format camera, native ISO of 100 to 25,600. It is weather sealed, and it takes EF mount glass from Canon. Then power up and level up from that, you can go with the Canon EOS R5. It's a 45 megapixel sensor, full frame camera, native ISO of 100 to 51,200. It is weather sealed, and it takes the new RF glass, RF mount. Like Nikon, you can go back and use EF mounted glass or EF mounted lenses with the R5, as long as you guys are using an adapter. And coming in, number one, I might be a little biased on this, but oh, by the way, I'm not being sponsored for any of this, so this is just my personal recommendations to you guys. So there you go. Is the Fujifilm XT30. It is a 26.1 megapixel sensor, APS-C format, native ISO of 200 to 12,800. Fortunately, it is not weather sealed, so be careful. And it takes X-mounted Fuji or Fujinon glass. Power up and level up to the either XT3 or XT4. Either way, you're going to be good. The XT4, I think the only advantage it has over the XT3, it has IBIS, in-body image stabilization. Other than that, I mean, after the firmware upgrade for the XT3, which gave it the same autofocus speed as the XT4. Specs on the XT3 is a 26.1 megapixel sensor, APS-C format, native ISO of 160 to 12,800. It is weather sealed, and it takes X gon' give it to you. Wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you. The X mount lens family from Fuji. All right. Okay, so there's a couple of things that you guys need to look out for when considering purchasing a camera for landscape photography. Unlike sports photography or wildlife, where you'll have like super fast moving things, you don't need a high speed capture rate. Also, you don't need a refined autofocus system either. The thing you do need is a high performing ISO. I think a lot of today's cameras, you can get away with an ISO of 6400. Anything above that, you're going to start introducing noise and artifacts to your photos. I'm going to circle back here, and why I said weather sealing is kind of important. Depends where you live, or where you're going to be shooting, or what you're going to be shooting. But for us landscape photographers, it is probably a good idea to have a camera that has weather sealing. Absolutely. You're going to be facing elements, weather elements, rain, snow, wind. Your camera's not weather sealed? Ooh, try to find a camera that has weather sealing, especially if you're doing landscape photography. It doesn't really matter what camera you go with, as long as it shoots RAW. As I explained in my other video, the essential landscape photography gear, which I'll link up here, it doesn't matter how big and beefy your camera is. It doesn't matter the pixel amount, the sensor size, if it's full frame APS-C. As long as it shoots RAW, you're good to go. I explained a little bit in my previous video, which I'll link up here again. It's my white balance in landscape photography video. A little rundown on that is that if you're shooting RAW, it doesn't matter what you set your white balance to. You can fix it in post, you can fix it in Lightroom, Capture One, Photoshop, Adobe Camera Raw. You can adjust your white balance to whatever you want, basically. So heart to heart, shoot RAW. Shoot RAW, do it, yeah. So the quick tip here, once you guys are kind of like, okay, well, I think I'm going to go with the XT30, go visit your local camera store here in Alberta or in Edmonton, VizTech, McBain. Go in there, try the camera out, see if you like it, hold it, make sure that it's comfortable for you. You don't have to spend a ton of money at first on this. You can even buy used. Go to eBay, go to Facebook Marketplace, pick up a used one, and then play around with it, get comfortable with it, and then eventually upgrade to the Pro. So there's a little tip for you guys. So all right, I think that wraps it up for this video. If you guys liked it or enjoyed it or got something out of it, subscribe to this channel for more landscape photography tips, tutorials, tricks, top 5 lists, all that good stuff. Also, hit the share button, hit the like button, hit that little bell notification. It'll let you know when I upload my next video. Also, follow me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and a whole plethora of other social media sites. Links are in the description below. I'll see you guys at the next one. Peace.